Today I would share with you how I honor my body on a low energy day and some of the processes that I use to help myself feel more like myself again. And one of the things I do is I honor spontaneity and I honor what shows up. And instead of pushing myself and instead of making myself wrong or instead of feeling bad because maybe I feel like I should be doing something more quote-unquote productive and active, I let myself slow down and I let myself see if maybe God's trying to work in my life right now. Maybe He's trying to send me in a different direction, and maybe it's time for me to slow down and reprioritize and see what natural movements are occurring. And I think it's important that we acknowledge the fact as human beings that we're not machines, we're not robotic, and that every moment we don't have to be on the computer or on the telephone, and every moment we don't have to be working, we don't have to be doing the dishes, we don't have to be doing the laundry, we don't have to be doing anything. And one of the fallacies of Western society is we confuse production and action. And it's important to start to distinguish the difference, where just because we're busy, how many times have you heard people say, like, how are you doing? And they say, oh, keeping busy, as if that's some kind of an accomplishment. If we're always moving towards something, but we don't even know what direction we're going or what direction we want to be going, just because we're busy doesn't mean we're accomplishing anything. And it doesn't mean that we're moving in the right direction. So it's important that we slow down and we take some time to focus on where do we want to be going and checking in with our priorities. Our priorities that are something that change throughout the course of our life, where we're not the same person that we were 6 months ago. And with the speed that the world is shifting now, we're not the same person that we were 6 weeks ago. We're not the same person that we were 4 days ago. So it's important that we take time to check in and to see, are the things where I'm spending my time and energy, are they still what are my highest priorities now? With who I am now? Are they still the things that are true for me now? Are they still the things that are serving me? And so a low energy day is a really good opportunity to do that. And some of you will say, oh, I have responsibilities, I have things to do, I have children. And these are all excuses we can pull out of our excuse bag, and any one of them work fine. You have the choice of using as many excuses as you like to not honor your body and to not take time for yourself and to not spend time in solitude. They all work the same way, and regardless of what your excuse is, at any moment you have the power to make different choices, and at any moment you have the power to change that. So regardless of what your excuse is, if it takes you 5 years down the road in the wrong direction, is it really serving you? So, for instance, if you're a parent and it might be difficult for you to find childcare sometimes, understand there are so many parents, especially single parents, that are in the same position as you are. And if you start to work collaboratively, and maybe once a month, one of these moms can take the kids for a day. And then a week later, the other mom, another mom, takes the kids for a day. And you do this with 4 women, that's 1 day a week you get in solitude to spend time with yourself, to do what you want, and to check in with your priorities, and to care for yourself. So, I have come to understand that we receive so much support just from the earth, and we're so supported by the earth. We receive so much nourishment just by being with the earth. And so on a low energy day, I like to really spend time outside. And it's also good to open up ourselves to new experiences, to go places that we haven't been before. And this is a coffee farm that's about 30 minutes from where I live on the beautiful island of Kona. And this is a place I've never been before, and this was a place I wasn't planning on going. When I started out to make this video, I was picturing of going to a nearby beach, and I took a quote-unquote wrong turn, and my friend said, you know, I'd really love to have some Kona coffee. And so I honored that flow in my life, and instead of getting upset about a wrong turn and hurrying around, turning around, trying to get back to the beach where I was intending on going, I opened myself up to the possibility maybe there was a new experience to be had. I was reminded in doing so that there's a tremendous freedom in moving beyond our usual paths. Our lives are actually quite small, where most of us drive to work, we drive to the bank, we drive to the grocery store, and we have places that we go out to eat or we go for recreation, and that's it. And we move within this small parameter, and that's our small little world. And we forget that there is an entire world outside of that. And we get blinders on. And especially when our lives are stressful, we forget that we are free at any moment to try something new. And it's so refreshing to look at the world from a new perspective and to remember how many choices there are at any given moment. To remember that we're infinite beings and we're living in a moment of infinite potential. And so just getting out of our usual little paths is refreshing and is already changing my energy, because I'm reminded I can live in an infinite number of ways. And when my soul feels that freedom and gets to express that freedom, already that opens me up. That starts to open up my field to greater potential, and that starts to bring more energy in. So just talking to you about that and just sharing gives my heart joy, and that also is helping to shift my energy. And you can probably see that in the movements of my body. You can probably hear that in the shift in my voice, and there's more enthusiasm coming in. So just these small little truths are things that bring us home to who we really are, and start to make us feel more connected and more energetic.